Good morning, guys. You know what time it is. It's time for tactics. Hey, so I told many of you I was going to post a video today on how to dismantle D4, and that's what this is all about. So, yes, D4 is a good opening. It's especially great for really great players, like over the rating of 2,000. So, if you're not over 2,000, why are you playing D4? I mean, you're not Karpov, and you're probably not that great at tactics. So, sorry to break it to you, but we all need to work on our tactics to get above 2,000 and beyond. So my personal goal is to get to 2,200. How am I gonna get there? Tactics and calculation mostly. So let's get into this game that I had against 1782 from Cape Verde. He's a good player, and this is a game 30. So this is not blitz. I don't play blitz. I don't play 3-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute games even. This is game 30. So we both had ample time to think. And I play super sharp positions. So the more sharp positions we have, the better chances we have of winning and losing a game and not drawing. So it's also in my experience that people that play D4 have a lot more drawn games. So watch this. So we're playing black, he's playing white. He starts out with D4. I go with knight F6, looking like a King's Indian defense. He moves C4, Queen's Gambit. I respond with the very tactical, and I hope you D4 players know it, is E5, the Budapest Gambit. Let's do it. So he takes main line. He takes my pawn on E5, and I move knight to G4. Threatening to win my pawn back. But I don't play this just to win my pawn back or go down a pawn. I do it for rapid development. He plays knight F3. All book. And I play D6. This is the Adler variation of the Budapest Gambit. So I'm hoping he takes my pawn, which would still be fine for him. On D6, I mean, he's up a pawn, and bishop takes D6, and the underlying threat here, guys, is if white, there's a big trap here. If white, after taking on D6, bishop takes D6, were to push, say, H3, check this out. Knight takes F2, king takes F2, and bishop to G3, exclam. Drawing his king away from the E1 square for this reason. So now king takes on G3, and I win his queen. Queen takes D1. So if you're playing white, don't push H3 if you take this pawn. But my opponent, good player, probably has seen this before, doesn't go down that rabbit hole. He just defends the pawn. So he goes bishop to F4. And I develop knight C6. Also, now I have 3 attackers on the E5 pawn. He has 2 defenders. He takes now on D6. And instead of taking his pawn back right away, because I'm not in this game to go down a pawn and not have some sort of advantage. I'm in this game to win. So I move queen to F6, attacking his bishop on F4 and the pawn back on B2. I'm asserting my will in this game. He moves back to D2. Defensive move. It's a mistake. And now I win my pawn back on D6. I mean, look at my pieces, guys. So much more active. I have 4 pieces in play. He has 2, and one of them is very passively placed on D2. If there's one thing I've learned about chess in these lower than 2,000 rated levels that we're in, it's if you play passive, you get wrecked. So unless you're a GM or even a master or international master, you cannot play like passively. And even those guys, like amongst each other, don't play passively, because when they do, they get wrecked. So just, you can't play passive chess. He comes bishop to c3. And I moved queen to h6 with the idea of, if he tries to get my knight off of g4 with h3, I'm not going to move my knight off g4 because his pawn can't take it because his rook is pinned. So that was the reason I moved queen h6. Plus, there's also another reason. If at some point he wants to move e3, I am very, very close to sacking my knight on e3 to rip open the center. Because, again, my position is already moving at a much better pace than white's, and I can quickly castle kingside, move my rook to the center, and just strike right down the middle. So he moves h3. I castle kingside. Go ahead, buddy. Take my knight. He doesn't do it because he's a good player. He moved e3, which is what we were hoping for, right? If he moved e3, we're going to sack our knight. Let's do it. I sack my knight on e3. He takes back. So pause your videos here, guys, and calculate the next 2, 3, 4 moves, what you would do from both sides. All right, so I played queen takes e3 check, anticipating queen to e2, because if queen e2, now we can go bishop to g3 check. White loses his castling privileges, his king's stuck in the center, and we're almost developed, like, all the way. And look at his position. It's just absolutely wrecked. I mean, call me Brendan Fraser, because my opponent is completely mummified, like the mummy. So he comes here, and I go bishop g3 check. He's playing angry chess. King to d1. He's on the run. We got him on the run. Rook to d8 check. Knight to d2. Now he's pinned. I mean, yes, he developed a piece, but his knight is pinned to his king. Now we got to get our queen out of there. What we don't want to do is trade off our queens, because the queen's the most powerful piece. You know that. But we don't want to lose the steam in our attack. Now we have our rook on d8. We got our bishop on g3 attacking. We got our knight on c6, and we're about ready to develop our bishop to f5, striking down the h7 to b1 diagonal. I mean, we are just going after white. He is just completely bound up like a mummy. So now I go queen c5. The engine wanted me to go queen to f4, which is slightly better. I mean, you know, this is the second best move, but there's, you know, it's a good move. It wasn't a great move. So queen c5, keeping our threats alive, keeping our queen in the center, and not trading off queens, most importantly. He moves b3. Bishop to f5. Attacking. The h7, b1 diagonal is ours. I mean, look at the position, guys. This is what you can do to d4. Go ahead, play d4. King c1. And now, pause your videos here as black, because there's one move really that keeps this attack going, because what we don't want to do is go bishop to d3 and do a useless one move attack, because bishop d3 looks aggressive, but there's no follow-up. He just falls back queen to d1. So you got to calculate more than just one move attacks. You got to do 2, 3, 4, 5, as far as you can go. So what is another move that would be better than a one move attack, such as bishop to d3? All right, you got it. Rook to d3, attacking the bishop on c3. Attack, because we're going to move our other rook here on a8 in a battery with our rook on d3. We're going to move it to d8. And we have, that would be an awesome position. We're fully developed. We got a rook battery going on the D file. We're attacking on the light squares with the bishop and the dark square bishop. Everybody's in the game. White's bound up like a mummy. So my opponent, being a good player, knows this. He sees it too and is probably stressed out about it. Takes my rook with his queen. Excellent move on his part. Brilliant move. Chess.com rated as a brilliant move. I take back with the bishop. He takes back here. And I move rook d8, completing our development. King c2. Things get real tactical here, guys. Start looking at combinations. Queen to e3. Yes, I'm looking to take the bishop on d3, and he doesn't want that. So what's he gonna do? Bishop e4, great move, because everything is held together. I mean, his knights defend each other. His knight on d2 defends his bishop now on e4. Even through, you know, tactical awareness. I mean, I have a 2300 puzzles rating. There's nothing I can do here to unwind this defense that he has between the two knights and the two bishops. I mean, there's no combination. Like rook takes d2 fails to knight takes d2, which defends the bishop on e4. So everything kind of protects each other. So he's doing a good job here on defense. So what I played was bishop to e5, attacking the bishop, and I'm okay trading off there because there's still some tricks I can try to pull off here, and you know, I have a queen and he doesn't. So he takes, I take, rook to e1, good move. I gotta get out of the way, and if we're gonna do that, let's move to an active square where we do something positive. Queen to f2, pinning the knight to the king. Now he makes another good developing move. So he's unwound himself for the most part, but then again, he's a 1782. This is an 1800 rated player. So would you have been able to defend like him? Maybe, maybe not. Knight takes f3. Bishop takes f3. Good move. Now we got to be a little bit cautious. So I know we've been attacking, we've been upbeat, we've been going after him, but we have to be cautious now. We got to give our opponent respect because we don't want to get back ranked. So I played g6, not h6. The difference is the escape square is a dark square, not a light square. So I don't want to have his bishop come down on the h7 b1 diagonal, cutting off the one escape square I created for myself if I went h6 instead. Bishop here. Now pause your videos here, guys, and think of a cool tactical way that we can try to win a piece, because we know what's coming. We know rook f1 is coming, and he's trying to attack my f7 pawn with either taking it with check, bishop takes f7, but probably better would be rook takes f7, because he can have a discovered attack with the rook moving on the 7th rank, with like rook takes c7 with an exposed check, and we definitely don't want to deal with that. So what's a creative way we can draw our queen away from f2 and still keep a creative counterattack going against white so that we're not put on defense? All right, the answer is queen to c5. Now if he goes rook to f1, which in his mind he's like, yeah, I'm gonna probably go rook f1 because now I'm on the attack, black. Well, that would be a blunder, because now I got rook takes d5, because his pawn is pinned to his king and the pawn defends the bishop. So he plays right into our hands here and goes rook to f1 because he's so excited to be on the attack now. The problem is he miscalculated this tactic. So rook takes d5. Now he tries to counterattack me with an in-between move of his own. Knight to e4, attacking my queen. Now pause your videos here and calculate how do I get out of this as black? Let's see if you can solve it. All right. So the only way out of this as black is rook takes d1. Then if knight takes c5, winning my queen, I take his other rook with rook takes f1. So I get 2 rooks and he gets my queen. And so we're left in the end game with a rook and 6 pawns versus his knight and 5 pawns. I'll take that any day of the week. So we're sitting good if that happens. Well, when I took on d1, he didn't take my queen, which he probably should have. He went knight to f6 check. I moved king to g7. And then he took my rook, king takes c, or d1. And I opted to just fork his knight and king and take out the 2 pieces with my queen because I have a pawn advantage here, guys, and my king is better placed. And I'm not going to go into how I finished the game, but I ended up winning the game because I had the extra pawn. My king was more centrally located on e5. His ended up being on e3. I ended up exerting or converting the win by having that extra pawn, which he had to pay attention to on the king side. And then our pawns got locked up on the queen side. So I just ran over to the queen side, took out the pawns from behind, and he didn't have the time to be able to defend. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this game, but I tried to make it exciting for you. And this is a real game. I mean, this is game 30. So this is not a 3-minute blitz game where we didn't have time to think. I mean, this is a real good time control type game. So study your tactics, join my channel, subscribe to Tactics with Trav for more exciting games. And I will be posting, my next video is going to be on me solving puzzles and my thought process on that. So you can see how I think about it and learn from it to implement into your own games. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next video.